Did you know that the Young Turks have a new official sponsor? Netflix. All you have to do is go to netflix.com/TYT and you get a whole month of Netflix for free.
Think about it.
Good Morning America did this really interesting piece on something known as unschooling. Okay, now Obama's administration is trying to reform education, but some parents are opting out of formal education altogether. They're not homeschooling their kids, they're unschooling their kids. Now what unschooling is they allow their children to set their own educational pace. So they don't force them to learn anything. The children get to learn whatever they feel like they should learn. Okay, so basically it's giving all the power to the child when it comes to their education. Now we have a video on this. Good Morning America did a great video on it. Let's watch it and I will share my thoughts.
And let me tell you something. I've got strong opinions on this when we come back. Let's watch.
Premise is let a child follow his or own passions and the learning will come from the doing. But most educators say there is often a huge gap between the utopian ideal and reality.
Imagine a world without school. For the Beagler kids, it's a reality. They're at home, not being homeschooled, they're being unschooled. We're talking about no textbooks, no tests, no formal education at all.
Over here, we're growing some pickles.
Living your life as if the school system didn't exist.
They'll never get X plus Y equals Z.
No, if they need formal algebra understanding, then they will find that information.
Kids doing whatever they want.
They might watch television, they might play games on the computers.
Might read.
I know my kids, if they have a choice between watching TV and reading.
The key there is that you got to trust your kids to find their own interests.
But can we? Really?
This, to me, is putting way too much power in the hands of the kids, something that we know kids actually can often find very anxiety-producing. And it's also sending a message that, they're the center of the universe, which I do not think is healthy for children.
The Beaglers are radical unschoolers. They extend their kids' choice philosophy to parenting, allowing their kids to make all their own decisions. No chores, no rules.
You guys can't go in there.
I imagine like feral children running wild. How can you parent without any rules?
We find that we don't need a whole lot of rules.
Your daughter stays up all night.
Yeah.
Isn't that sort of counterproductive?
No, she's getting everything done that she wants to get done.
Though it varies from state to state, it's perfectly legal in Massachusetts. They just have to report once a year to the local school authorities. And the Beaglers may be part of a growing trend. Of the 56 million school kids, 1.5 million are homeschooled, and 10% of those are estimated to be unschoolers. Discovery Health chronicled the life of one young unschooling family.
Today we're going to the local farm. How much money did you bring?
$1.10.
It's amazing when you broaden the scope of what you see as learning versus, trying to look at workbook sheets. There is no hierarchy in our house, so there's no punishment, no judgment, or discipline. They just get what they need for breakfast and go to wherever feels comfortable for them to eat. You're gonna have a donut? Okay. Are we gonna brush teeth? Hygiene was one of the last things to go for us as far as being relaxed in our parenting style.
We wondered what happens when the kids are older. Teenagers Sean and Kimmy Beagler have been unschooled for 6 years.
When was the last grade you went to school?
It was first grade when I stopped.
Do you ever miss or regret not being in a normal school?
I don't regret it, but sometimes I wonder what my life would be if I continued going to school. I was never really into some of the stuff that I had to learn in school.
But you were 7, what do you know? Well, in PE you learned volleyball and basketball and football. Have you explored any sport?
No, they haven't really been an interest of mine.
That's what school is about, to be exposed to all these things that maybe you would like one of them. You would be, what, a junior in high school?
I really don't know.
Do you feel prepared for college? Do you feel like you're prepared academically and socially
no,
for
not
college?
really, because I haven't done the traditional look at a textbook and learn about such and such. If I wanted to go to college, then I would pick up a textbook and I would learn.
Isn't it the job
luck.
of the parent to teach the child to do things that they don't want to do.
They will do what they need to do, whether or not they enjoy it, because they see the purpose in it.
Do you ever worry, though, by raising your kids so far out of the mainstream that they will be handicapped in some way?
The way they learn, growing up is different than what most other people do. But in all other aspects, they're living in the mainstream.
They have experiences and knowledge that other people don't.
Now,
Yeah.
the reaction to this has been intense, and everyone keeps asking, is this legal? Well, unschoolers typically register as homeschoolers, and we have a map here that shows that each state handles it slightly differently. Some have virtually no oversight. Others, like Colorado, for example, require either testing or evaluation every other year, and parents are all supposed to check in once a year with curriculum, but I'm telling you, basically, they're on their own to study whatever they want.
Wow. Do you have any sense of how many families are actually trying this?
It's a
All
growing
right,
number.
that's good enough. Okay. Now, here's the deal, right? If somebody says to me, hey, you know what, I have less rules because I want the kids to have creativity, freedom, etc. So I let them go to sleep whenever they want, okay? And I'm not mental about their chores and stuff. No problem. How about it, Hoss? Okay. If you think the kids are magically going to learn algebra out of the thin air, I mean, I don't know what to call you. Let's be kind and say you're deluding yourself. Well, how's she going to learn chemistry? Right. Well, you know, golly gee willikers, I was just playing Wii all day, and I decided, why not learn chemistry? Okay? What kid's going to say that? Okay, come on, please, please. This is absurd. Okay, it's easy to unschool them, but it's not easy to unclown them later when they're 18 years old. They're like, I don't know anything. What do you know about biology? Nothing. Physics? Nothing. Name it. History. What do you know about history? Nothing. I was unschooled. Well, then what does that make you? It doesn't make you stupid. That's not, of course not. It does make you ignorant, though.
Absolutely. No, you make a great point. And look, I already wrote about this on Examiner, right? And I got a ton of comments from people who are like, no, homeschooling is right. This is completely different from homeschooling, okay? This is not providing any direction for your children whatsoever, thinking that they will, out of their own natural curiosity, seek knowledge. It doesn't work that way. When I was 10 years old, you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to watch the Power Rangers all day. That's what I wanted to do. I wasn't going to go and read about history. I wasn't going to brush up on my grammar. It doesn't work that way.
When I was young, the only question I wanted to answer was, what you going to do when Hulkamania comes down on you? Okay, you think I would have been like, oh yeah, geometry. Can I please learn a little bit of geometry? I mean, how the hell are they ever going to catch up? And you say, okay, they're not going to catch up, but you're damning your kids to certain careers. I don't know if they've thought that through too. Because there can't be mathematicians, they can't be scientists, they can't be professors. I mean, there's 108 things they can't be. Now you say, all right, choose among the careers where you don't have to know anything. You're doing your kids a lot of damage. Don't do that. Look, I don't agree with homeschooling, but that's just a personal choice, okay? And you can obviously disagree on that. But this unschooling is a terrible idea. I mean, that girl has no idea what's going on in the world. She said, oh, if I want to go to college, I'll just pick up a textbook. Yeah, good luck with that. How about you have to pick up 28 and learn them all right away? What are you going to do with the SATs? What are you going to do when you get to college and they say, all right, here's a physics class?
But you know what? To their defense, they are growing pickles, so they know how to grow pickles.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. Well, in case you need a pickle, they're your go-to people. Okay, so the number of career options open to you are work at McDonald's and be a pickle farmer.